And we're back. Game 2 is in the books. Anthony Davis led the way. The Los Angeles Lakers are now up 2-0. 124-114. The Lakers had the game in hand almost the entire time. I'm Stephanie Reddy. Welcome back. We're joined by the whole gang, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Grant Hill. Welcome back, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys hanging around. This would have been a long night without you, I'll tell you that much. Let's start with Anthony Davis. We have talked about his prowess. It's well chronicled how good and talented he is. Tonight, it was on full display. He started off shooting 93% from the field in the very beginning, all the way through to the fourth quarter when he finally started missing. Guys, what in the world can you say about someone who's this good? Grant, we'll start with you.
Wow, I mean, he is that good, and he showed it here today. It was a special performance for him, really just doing everything, hitting them from long range, getting out, finishing inside, offensive rebounding. It was just one of those, he beat you in a bunch of different ways. And when you have a guy that engaged, that talented, and that locked in, you have a chance to go out there and be successful, and he was pretty special out there tonight.
He had a double-double, 32 points, 14 rebounds. Shaq, 8 of those were offensive boards. How important is that going to be for them to finish this season and this series out?
Well, it's very important. We've always wanted AD to play big, play his size. And when you're going up against inadequate small defenders, this is what you're supposed to do. Listen, when you're playing against a zone, the defender cannot put his body on you, so you can move and slither around. And the Los Angeles Lakers.
This most points in first 2 career finals games. In Lakers franchise history, you lead the way, Shaq, with 83 points, which is just ridiculous. But Anthony Davis, 66 is still very impressive for 2.
It's very impressive, and the reason why I have 83 points, because the guy that's on this panel tonight, Kenny Smith, when I was a youngster and made it to the finals in 94, 95, we got embarrassed. So I said to myself, if I ever get back to the finals, I have to dominate in a way that it will definitely put us up 2-0.
Kenny, he's talking about that second championship you won when you swept his Orlando Magic. 2 rings you have. We want to make sure the people at home realize that. What are your thoughts on the play of Anthony Davis, Kenny?
Yeah, I wasn't sure which championship he was talking about either, so I'm glad you had to identify it. But, for me, I watched the game, and Shaq and I always joke about gas in a car, but it looked like, you ever been in a car and you got a quarter tank and you got 80 miles to go, and you're just like hoping that you can get there. And that's what the Miami Heat looked like. It's like, we're going to eventually run out of gas, but we need to get there. And, the offensive rebounds, the ability to able to, knock down shots for Anthony Davis. He was special tonight because, in the Denver series, he had games where he didn't rebound the ball at all, or he didn't even go to the offensive glass. So to do that tonight, and actually, as Shaq said, play big and play his size. We had been saying that, and Shaq had been saying that all playoff series. When he plays his size, he's the most unguardable player in the bubble. So, but he played his size. That's what you can do against the zone. Actually, I think they made them take the shots that they wanted to make. And I was like, now it's starting to, I don't know if you pack up to go out the bubble, but you find out where the luggage is. And you're like, yeah, let me put the luggage out. I might not pack it, but I need to figure out where it is, because they actually did the things that they wanted. And if Bam doesn't play next game, there's going to be more of the same.
Kenny, thank you for that. And I mean, thank you for not going into the gas situation with you and Shaq, because we have a guest waiting down in Orlando. Jarrett Greenberg and Steve Smith are joined by Kyle Kuzma.
All right, thanks a lot, Stephanie. It's a Detroit connection here, so I'm going to let Smitty go ahead and take this one.
It's Flint, Detroit.
Yeah, it's different.
It's a little different, but we all won. We're from the Mitten.
Yeah, there you go.
Kuz, talk to me tonight. You got yourself in a little rhythm. You got a chance to knock down some threes again, and yourself. We talked about it a little bit off air. Just tell me how you're starting to get going after this second game.
Hey there, I'm Stephanie Reddy. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening as we continue our coverage of the NBA Finals. We're going to start you off with some headlines just to get you caught up in case you haven't been paying close attention. Game 1, the Lakers won. LeBron scored a near triple-double. That game turned into a blowout. It didn't start that way, though, so Miami hoping they can switch things around. His partner in crime, Anthony Davis, had a historic finals debut. We'll dive into that a little deeper as we go on this night, but he represented the Lakers very well. Now, on the other side, unfortunately for the Miami Heat, injuries suffered to two starters. You can see right there, Goran Dragic injured his plantar, actually tore it, and Bam Adebayo suffered a neck strain. Both are deemed out for the game tonight. As we welcome in the entire gang to help get you guys ready, let's introduce everyone. Shaquille O'Neal, who is presenting the hardware for you all. Kenny the Jet Smith, two-time NBA champion, unable to present his hardware because he's on the road. And of course, Grant Hill, Hall of Famer, is with us as well. Gentlemen, it's so good to see you all. I'm excited to hear your take. Let's get right to it. The injury situation for the Miami Heat. How or if can they even recover, Kenny?
It's going to be deafening if they do recover. You're going to hear the screams from Miami if they do. I think overall, I think they could have possibly got an opportunity to win without Dragic, but without Bam, I think to occupy what Anthony Davis does, I think it's going to be a little bit too much for them. Because what he does when he's at his best, when Bam is at his best, he's able to occupy him on the offensive and the defensive end. Who's going to fill that void? Who's going to allow that to happen? They will probably play bigger and more athletic at times with Kelly Olynyk. They'll probably, go to Jones now, who didn't get much run, and obviously none. So they will be more athletic, and that will pose some problems for the Lakers. But before I go, I just, Shaq is going to go ahead and you can just say it, what you were going to say or saying earlier about is the church is ready and then but you do have to make it. He says, I look like a reverend today. So, yes, the offering plate will be coming around at 7:30. So be ready for it, and I will do it.
Such a good sport, Kenny. Such a good sport. I wasn't even going to go there. People at home had no idea.
He is. So I know him. You got to beat him to the punch. You cannot let the punch come hit you.
All right, well, let's go to you, Shaq. Without Bam Adebayo, how in the world can the Miami Heat handle the front line of the Lakers?
Well, I think it's going to be very difficult because, one, they already had a short rotation. Kendrick Nunn was out of that rotation, but it's going to give him the ability to come in and showcase his skills. I don't know any other bigs than Kelly Olynyk, but Kelly Olynyk is a very crafty player. The question is, can he have 4 breakout games? And I don't know if he can do that. But, Bam Adebayo, when he's playing at his best, he was playing like an all-star. He was rebounding. He was getting a lot of offensive rebounds. And they're definitely going to be missed tonight. But the Miami Heat mentality is no excuses. They're going to go out and they're going to play. I think if you rotate to the shooters a little faster and make it difficult for the Lakers to just stand out there and hit wide open shots, you give yourself a chance. But if you don't have a big body like Bam Adebayo and they're rebounding, taking up space and scoring, I think it's going to be very, very difficult. I'd like to give a shout out to the Durham Tabernacle Baptist Church that Kenny is a part of, and I will give you whatever amount of money you want, Kenny.
Amen. Can I get an amen?
Amen. And I got my money, Kenny.
Brother.
I'm good for it.
Look
There you go, man. There you go.
Plates being passed around.
Hey, Stephanie, you can PayPal us at 1-800. PayPal us, no question. You take it all.
Thank goodness for technology. Look at you, Grant Hill, always prepared. I'm not surprised at all. Now, you are a former teammate of Goran Dragic, so we know the importance from the outside, but when you're the inside and you're playing with him, what value does he bring and can they recuperate?
Yeah, I played with him along with Shaq. We both had him his freshman or his rookie year in the NBA, and they're going to miss him greatly. He experience. He's had moments in the playoffs. He's a guy that can hit threes. He can get to the basket. He's crafty with his left hand, and then he just knows how to play the game. Understands, obviously, putting up great numbers during the playoffs. So, this is a huge loss not having Dragic out there. Just the point guard, the leader. He's steady, he's consistent. And I really think, kind of what Kenny and Shaq said, look, I think Miami's going for game 3. I think they could have tried to rush these guys back, Adebayo and Dragic. they're like, let's get more rest, more treatment. Hopefully they'll be ready and better to go in game 3. And then hopefully there's some things they can do better and guys will maybe step up. Kendrick Nunn had a great first game, 18 points in 19 minutes. So, Miami's not totally out of it, although they were overwhelmed in game 1. But not having Dragic out there is going to be tough. And someone else, or collectively, a couple guys are going to have to step up on the perimeter and play big.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Obviously, their bench, everyone is going to have to kind of move over and get ready to perform. Let's take a look at how they started. The Heat went out before